These are learning objectives for this chapter. We have protecting Windows against threats, introduction to Windows 11 security, using Windows maintenance tools, setting internet security options, and using parental control.
Windows 11 provides many sophisticated tools to protect your computer while it is connected to the internet or to a network. In this chapter, you will work with the security features in Windows 11, including the Security Center, Windows Firewall, Windows Defender, Internet Security, Parental Controls, and Windows Update. Many computers are constantly connected to the internet, connected to a network, or both. These connections can make your computer vulnerable to viruses and unauthorized access. Fortunately, Windows 11 is designed to identify potential threats and protect your computer. Most security features are already in place when Windows 11 is installed. However, it is beneficial to understand these features and to ensure that the appropriate settings are used to maintain the highest level of security for your computer. The security tool in the control panel contains all of the security features. Let's take a look. Each tool you see here is dedicated to managing a specific aspect of your computer's system and security. For example, Security and Maintenance helps you troubleshoot and resolve common system problems, and Windows Defender Firewall blocks unwanted access to your computer. You will work with several of these tools throughout this chapter. The Security and Maintenance tools gather many tools to resolve computer problems in one centralized location. It is accessible from this screen in the control panel, and you can also open it from the Start menu using keywords in the search box. Let's open the Security and Maintenance tools from the control panel. Security and Maintenance displays the status of the most critical elements of computer security and system maintenance. To see details about which features are currently installed or functioning correctly, click the status indicator arrow at the right. Let's expand the security feature. Windows Defender is already protecting your computer against spyware and malware. Malware is the term used to describe any program whose intent is to harm your computer, such as a virus or spyware. A virus is a program that corrupts your computer in some way. Spyware is a program designed to obtain information from your computer without your permission. To check the status of your system's virus protection, click the link to view Windows Security. Good. The Windows Security window is now displayed. Notice that the virus protection status in the Security section is now on, and that a new taskbar icon indicates that the antivirus software has been installed. The Windows Security Alerts icon no longer appears on the taskbar because all security features have been installed. If the virus protection program is uninstalled, or if any other security feature stops working properly, then the Windows Security Alerts icon will be redisplayed on the taskbar. To illustrate this, the antivirus program will be uninstalled. Now, the Action Center again reminds you that the computer no longer is protected from viruses. Notice that the Action Center also shows the status of Internet security and user account control. The User Account Control feature ensures that only users with administrative privileges can make changes to your computer. When you start a task that involves changing a computer setting or hardware configuration, Windows prompts for an authorization to make the change. Now let's return to the System and Security screen. As you browse the Internet, your computer is particularly susceptible to malware and unauthorized access. Edge, the web browser that comes with Windows 11, is equipped with many security features to protect your computer. You can view and adjust these security settings using the Internet Properties dialog box. Edge has identified 4 categories of Internet sites that you might access. These categories are called zones, and you can control the type of security that Edge uses for each zone. As you can see by its description, the Internet Zone covers all Internet sites that are not on your intranet or that you have not flagged as being trusted or restricted. Edge uses a medium-high level of security when accessing these sites. The local intranet zone covers the sites that are incorporated into your local network or intranet. Let's look at the trusted sites. The Trusted Sites zone contains sites that you know will not damage your system, and therefore Edge uses only medium security when you access the sites that have been assigned to it. Edge does not assign sites to the trusted or restricted zones. You assign them yourself using the Sites button. For this example, Microsoft's secure website has already been added as a trusted site. To add more sites, you type the URL and click the Add button. Now, close the Trusted Sites dialog box to continue looking at security settings. You can control the type of security precautions that Edge takes for each zone. Let's look at the Internet Zones settings. Descriptions of the current security precautions are listed in the security level for this zone section of the Security tab. You can change these using the Custom Level button. The Security Settings dialog box lets you specify how cautious Edge should be when it encounters certain components and features on web pages. For example, ActiveX controls are small programs required to display animations and interactive elements on a web page. You can control how Edge handles these controls. Scroll down the list to view the ActiveX settings. A signed control is one that has a security certificate which validates the security of the program. As you can see in the first setting, Edge will prompt you to accept signed controls before they are downloaded. The second setting is currently set so that Edge will never download a control that is not signed. You can change these settings by choosing different options. Maintaining your privacy on the internet is an extension of security. Let's take a look at the privacy settings now. The Privacy tab lets you control the cookies settings. A cookie is a small text file that some websites store on your computer's hard disk. This file contains information you have provided while visiting the site, such as data you entered into fields or the links you clicked while visiting the site. The website uses the information stored in its cookie to customize your experience with the site. It cannot access other files in your computer, and other internet computers cannot access the cookie. The Advanced tab in the dialog box contains other security settings, such as how to handle ActiveX controls with invalid signatures. Now, let's close the Internet Properties dialog box. Parental controls enable you to set limits on how much time children can spend on the computer, the types of programs they can run, and the types of websites they can access. You can apply parental controls to anyone using your computer with a standard user account. This type of account already has limited privileges on your computer, unlike the administrator account, which has full privileges. You must be logged on using an administrator account to set parental controls for another user. For your convenience, a standard user account has been added for Sarah's son. You'll use that account to set parental controls. Here you see an overview of the account. From here you can establish screen time limits, configure content filters to limit websites, apps, and games, set spending limits, and view spending reports. Using the family safety controls, you are able to connect other devices associated with the account. Let's take a look at the settings for screen time. For your convenience, the screen has been scrolled to get a better look at the options. If you are concerned about how much time children are spending on the computer, you can set time limits. To set the same time limits on all devices associated with the account, toggle on the Use One Schedule on All Devices option. Let's take a look. Here you can set limits for each day of the week, one day at a time, or use the options to create consistency throughout the week. Use the drop-down menu to choose a day of the week, or apply your desired settings universally using the other controls in the Edit Time Limit dialog box. To block a specific time period, drag the mouse pointer across the slider. Also, select the start and end times for usage using the schedule. By default, you see that usage begins at 7 a.m. and ends at 10 p.m. for a total of 15 hours of use per day. Let's block access every evening after 8 o'clock. Good. Notice Will can no longer use the computer after 8 o'clock at night. He can resume usage at 7 in the morning. Note that, like the screen time settings, you can also control the types of games accessible to children based on different criteria. For example, you can block games based on standard game ratings of everyone, teen, and so forth. Next, let's take a look at content filters. Microsoft Family Safety aims to protect your family from the darker side of the Internet, featuring tools designed to manage how your kids experience the web. Family Safety helps you limit searches, block or allow specific websites, and decide who your kids can communicate with. Even before adjusting the filter settings, you can see your child's activity, including what they've searched for and what sites they have visited. Any search or website visited displays in the Activity section of the Family Safety window. With the child's account, the setting for filtering inappropriate searches and websites is toggled on. This will block mature content as well as blocking any internet browser other than Edge. Unique settings can be established for each family member. For more precise control over what content is available, use the Allowed Sites settings. Let's apply a few more controls to Will's account. Web filters are designed to examine the content of a web page and then block the page or allow it to be displayed. With a child's account, this is turned on automatically. It can be turned off by toggling the Filter Inappropriate Websites and Searches option. When on, child-friendly sites are allowed and adult content is blocked. The Allowed Sites and Blocked Sites options give you an even more precise level of control of the sites your child can visit. Just enter URLs of websites into each category. Let's add an approved site now. Good. Notice that the URL for the approved site now displays in the Allowed Sites list. It can be removed at any time. Just as with the allowed sites, you can specifically restrict sites by entering URLs in the Block Sites box. If this user tries to access a site whose content has been blocked, Windows will display a notification message. The message includes a link used to ask for permission to access the site. He may be granted access by entering Sarah's account information. What sites you block are your personal discretion. In this chapter, you worked with the security features in Windows 11. You examined the Security Center to determine the status of critical security features. You worked with the Windows firewall settings and learned about the spyware protection program, Windows Defender. You reviewed settings for Internet security, added parental controls to a user account, and used Windows Update to check the computer for security and other updates.